Welcome, Lisa. Before El Tigre Films, can you please explain us what you've been doing?
So I've always acted my entire life, like since I was a little girl, and mostly theater, though I was on all the school plays, and then I got really involved in a regional theater in New Jersey, and I was a physical therapist. I never ended up pursuing acting professionally, but just because it's so hard. And I had a family, and so I worked at Columbia Presbyterian. I've been working there for the past 26 years. That was my day job, and then it was my hobby, was theater and acting. And then during the pandemic, I started to learn film production and film acting, and then I sort of transitioned to making the physical therapy more of my day job, and then the film started doing it more seriously for myself first, and then now I've turned it into a business.
How do you think you managed to transition from being a PT into your business?
It was hard. I mean, I'm still transitioning. I feel like, you know, anytime you make the jump to do something like this, everyone's, you know, going to be like, oh my God, you know, you have to be very clear. You have to have a lot of mentors. And I did it gradually. Like I said, I still work at Columbia. I just reduced my hours so I can focus more on my film stuff. And I just kept doing it, you know, as best I could. And yeah, no, I mean, and I love it. So, and like I said, at first I made films for myself. So I gained confidence in production and everything. And then once I had that confidence, I was like, all right, let's try to, you know, make it into something.
Are you been thinking about this since before while you still have your job?
Oh yeah.
Like, did it take you years, months before it actually happened?
At least 4 years.
Oh, okay,
If not more. No, I mean, I always had this dream, this fantasy of being an actress.
Yes.
And then as I got older, I kind of learned what that meant. You know, it's just really just an identity, you know, because it's hard to, even for people that have been, you know, work as professional actors to do that, you know, and make a consistent income and support a family and everything. So then I joined this program. It's called Art to Income by this guy, Daniel Bria. And he basically was teaching, what he does is he teaches actors how to make film production companies using a skill like or something that they have either a special interest in or a lot of knowledge in. So I joined his program, and I started to try to make a company, but I was kind of like, come up with all the guys. It was like throwing spaghetti against the wall. And then at one point he said, you know what, why don't you just start with making keep your day job. You know, just don't worry about that right now. Keep your job, it's working, and then just focus on making your own things. And I did that, and then after I had the confidence of producing my own material and just had more time to figure out how this could fit into my other life.
Speaking of confidence, you tried a lot before you get this to like...
Oh God, yeah.
Right?
No, I mean, I feel like with anything like this, like doing a podcast, anything, you have to be willing to fail in public, and it's humbling, and you just have to keep doing it, and you have to do it because you love it, not because of any other reason. And you know, but with boundaries too. Yeah. No, I mean, working in a hospital for a long time, I knew I needed to switch into something, so it was just, you know, it's more of a it's a hard physical job, and more of a,
I understand. PT is kind of like
no, you're really in there, and I love it. I love my coworkers. They're like a family to me. You know, I'm glad I still get to see them. I do enjoy helping people. It's just, you know, it's hard work, and
I see. I mean,
time for a change.
I mean, it's okay that you're balancing it. Right? I mean, like, nobody like always dream of having this like growing up, right? What is the one thing, if you still remember, what is the one thing that pushed you to have this dream or fantasy
Of being an actress?
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if you have anything like that. But I mean, as early as I can remember, I was putting on plays with my cousins in my grandmother's basement. I was always the star because no one else wanted to be. I was always in the school plays. It's like, I feel like with acting in some way, and then, I tried to kind of push it down and just be serious and go to PT school and have a family and, just be normal. But then it just keeps it's almost like it chooses you in some weird way. Yeah.
I see. So it started when you were younger. You were in your grandma's basement, you were doing this acting and you felt like it's right for you, right?
Yeah. And now, and then the more you know you don't know, you're like, oh wow, I'm the star of the school play. Okay, but everyone is, who's an actor, in your acting class. It's like, we all were the stars, And then you just have to, again, go up and, I still take acting classes to still, I think you always have to keep growing, if you don't keep learning, keep fresh.
We always have a lot of people who switch from a regular job to a business. We always have at least someone who pushed us or a mentor who taught us how to do it. Can you name us one person you think on top of your head?
Daniel Bria, from Art to Income. If anyone needs a good mentor. No, it's interesting. His ad just kept popping up on my feed and it kept speaking to me. And at the time I had written a short film about working in the hospital during the pandemic, and I was just dead set on producing it. I was like, I gotta get this thing out there, And that's how I met him. And I was like, well, can you just produce this for me? He's like, you can't afford me. Just join my course and I'll teach you how to produce it. And then I joined his course. I really worked hard on that first thing. And then I realized it's, again, the more you know, the more you don't know, how hard it would be to film, how flawed it was in a lot of different ways, but it did get me started, So, and then now, I never did that one, but then I did a couple more after that.
That's good that you found somebody to actually help you.
Yeah. You need someone to be a good mix of sort of embracing your crazy, or your touch of the madness, as he calls it, and also just keep you grounded in reality that, it's not it's not easy, it's never easy.
Yeah, you never wake up and then boom, it's like you're successful already.
Exactly.
You always need to do every step of the way.
Yeah, and it might look really pretty on the outside, but it's a grind. Yeah. And it never stops,
Do you mind sharing us more about into your business? Do you have more people working with you, or did you hire somebody to collaborate with you?
Yeah, so I have a team that I work with, a cinematographer. They're actually it's a husband and wife. Well, they're soon to be husband and wife team. They're great. And so it's awesome. Yeah. So I have a team I work with, which is good, especially just starting out because, again, I don't pretend to know any more than I know, and I think that's that's the way you learn. If you
Where do you think you can find this type of people to collaborate or to work with your specific business? Do you just find them online or word of mouth?
So actually, I found them through this group that I was just mentioning, Art to Income. She was one of my classmates. We met for coffee. I don't know. It was, and then I heard what she did. She was doing something similar. And we connected. I've met people at film festivals and gotten just, or at film screenings. I'm always kind of talking to people, looking for people to collaborate with. Or in my community, I have, and if these people are busy, I know I can call on this one, because it's such it is a freelancers type of market and job.
I see. What's your one least favorite thing of the business you're in?
Sales and marketing myself. I'm not used to doing things like this. I love acting, but I feel like that's almost a different skill or a different, you kind of hide behind your character in some ways. And this, I've had to be very visible and not be shy about it.
Yeah.
But also, show up, be, like, you don't want to, just you have to show up as you are, visible. People can smell if you're not authentic. But you also don't want to be like a whiny, like, actually, as Daniel says, you don't want to put your loser hat on. We all have good days, bad days.
Yeah.
So I think just being visible and just marketing myself has been.
I mean, we all have like this, like one thing that we don't like about our business, right?
Yeah, no, some people love it too. Like I was talking to my sister-in-law, she's like, "Oh, I love that." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Oh, that's like if I could just."
I think because like marketing is like one of like the most important thing when it comes to business. That's why we need to keep pushing through. We need to keep putting ourselves out there because nobody gonna know who we are.
And I actually really like this format that it's in person because I'm like, so many things now are online, and I feel like even though we communicate a lot through video and online, we still need this type of in-person, connection and doing this type of stuff in person. Like my acting class is in person. I won't take one online. If I have to again because something else crazy happens, I will. Or it's useful.
Marketing is kind of like your least favorite part, but you still need to do it.
Right, yeah.
Like, how do you do it in your own way?
So I'm trying to figure that out. But what I've done is for social media, I use a calendar, and I use Buffer as a scheduler, and I just make little clips, I put them in, and I just post them, it just make it a routine. And then I have a system, I batch create, I have a system, and then I kind of adjust as it goes along, like as I get inspired, because I feel like that's part of, I don't know, I'm starting to realize that's part of the art of it.
Yeah.
Like I just decided to post a clip from a short film I made, and it's gotten more views than anything else I've posted. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make it into an episode, and I'll go in that direction for a little while. I feel like maybe that's, there's no rule book with this stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot into it. You can put so much effort into like one content you're creating and it didn't even make views. Compared to a video you just like uploaded and then like it hit a views you don't even expect to happen.
I mean, I didn't even want to post this. Like, it's just funny. It goes to show you. But I was like, all right, it's in my calendar. I have to do it. And then I'm like, whoa. Oh my God. All right. Good thing,
good thing you did it.
Yeah, good thing. And it was like, and then there's days where I'm like, I cannot wait for everyone to see this video. And it's like, bom, bom, bom,
I feel like posting we need to kind of like detach our feelings.
Yeah.
Because like the more you attach to it and then the more views or like likes you see, like you get upset and sad, and then now you cannot even think of a new one.
Yeah. No, and I have really good friends who will tell me if they like what I'm doing,
Oh, that's so
No,
nice.
it is good because I'm like, they'll message me, love this. I'm like, oh, okay, good. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go with that a little bit more, not that you need to go with what, you have to go with you and your gut and everything, but it's good to have people.
When you like comes to posting, you will eventually build your own community and the way that you want your own posting, right?
Yeah.
Not because just the views was just a lot.
Yeah,
right?
No, for sure. No, right now I'm just experimenting, I mean, it happens to be like, all right, I'll make my short into an episodic, like little thing. That's totally, that's so much fun. I thought I had to be all businessy and like if you look at my social media, it starts off, I'm like, I'm Lisa and I'm a business person on a roof, and now I'm like, all right, sure, if I'm like, getting more exposure by just chopping up my film, great, awesome, I'll do that. Yeah, amazing.
Do you actually share 2 lives in your social media since you do business and your original work?
My family will not let me film them, so and I respect that, but I do make films for my family. Like they're almost social media posts. But it's just shared with family, like for where my son is going to college, my mother-in-law's birthday party, but it's almost like a long form social media post, but it's just with the family. I keep it separate just because, my husband and son don't want to be filmed.
That's the thing about content creation. You also need to keep in mind that other people.
The parameters. Yeah, like they literally are like, oh my God. I'm like, no, I'm just taking a picture for us, okay, guys?
That's what I'm doing here too in this like our business. Like I need to tell them like, hey, I'm recording. If you don't want to be in the video,
then don't
walk around.
No, I know. It's yeah.
No. So like I understand, and that's very respectful of you.
No, and I try to. I mean, I know they say like you should make it personal and everything else. So I don't know. Recently,
you're still experimenting.
I'm still experimenting. I made this really good. It's a wedding towel cake for a bridal shower, and I'm pretty proud of it. So I might put that on social media, but that'll probably be like bam, bam, bam. You know,
I've been doing like content creating for the past like maybe like 10 years now.
Oh, wow.
And then I realized like you could actually post anything you want as long as you want it to be public.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I understand some people want you to niche down and stuff like that. If you're doing only makeup, just do makeup and don't post other things, right? But like I feel like in today's like generation, I feel like they want you because they're watching you. Like,
it's true. I mean, if you're able, I remember once hearing this about like a comedian. I was listening to a podcast, and it kind of at the time just it sunk in. I was in a band for a minute. I was the lead singer, and I wasn't feeling connected to it, and I was like really trying, but and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a rock star. This will be really cool. It just wasn't my thing, but it was really fun. And I remember hearing this comedian be like, you just have to utterly embrace and be yourself, and then if you are utterly yourself and so authentic, then other people will connect to that, and I think that's just
so like as long as you be yourself, I feel like people can
but it's so hard. Yeah, no, we all put on masks, and do different things. But be yourself within reason.
I always say be yourself as long as you don't hurt other people.
Of course.
Because like maybe I could be myself and then I'm a little crazy and then starting hurting people, then that's not good.
No, right. Or respect appropriately, where other people are coming from, and boundaries and things like that. Yeah.
Let's like get back into films and like how you like manage to like make this grow into like what you've been doing. Like can you share us like the films you already produced? I saw that you actually just did something last January. Can you share us a little bit more about this?
Yeah, so I did a horror film. We filmed it like almost 2 years ago, and it was finished. It takes a long time, post-production and everything. It was finished last year, the beginning of last year, and we just went to a big horror film festival in Spain. It's called Sitges, and that was amazing. And we're doing its festival run now, and so we're waiting to hear about other festivals in the US and everything. And that was exciting. I think that kind of propelled me in a certain direction. Like, it had that magic, like as we were making it, I was like, we're making something special here. You can kind of feel it. And then I went back to work.
We always need to balance this.
I went back to work, and then I figured it out. I figured out how to weave it in again, because I knew that's what I wanted to do eventually.
What are your like different emotions since you have like a 2 years creating this film, right? Like what are your different emotions? Like do you get tired because it's taking a while, or are you excited every day that this is like happening?
Oh, that's good. That's a good question. I should appreciate it more, because it's like every time I first couldn't wait to see it, then I saw it and I was kind of like horrified. It's really hard to watch yourself.
And hearing yourself.
Exactly. Like hearing yourself. No, this I play a disturbing character, so, it's disturbing. And then to go to the film festival, that was so exciting. That was like a dream, like nothing could get me down, like nothing could stop me, that's how it felt. And now just waiting to hear about other you know, I have to remind myself, it's actually like on my gratitude list, like, you did this. And after I finished it, I was like, you know what? Even if I do nothing else in my life, like, okay, I did this, and I made something, you know, that feels good, I think. Because as an actor, when you're always auditioning all the time, you know, I like making things, and whatever happens, you know, just by creating something.
So what motivates you every day?
Well, I love doing this stuff, and I really want to make this work. I you know, once I set out to do something, I'm pretty stubborn. I'm gonna keep going until this works, you know. And I'm a hard worker. I try to set a schedule every day. I try to exercise almost every day, and then just block out my days. So, but I love it. A lot of it I love. So that makes it fun.
That makes it fun for you.
Yeah.
Who are the clients you aim to help?
Yeah, so any specialized medical professional. So I don't know, you know, when you are trying to pick out a doctor, and especially if it's something very private or something very serious, when you go on their website, a lot of doctors now are using video to introduce themselves to you. And there's been a big expansion in healthcare in pelvic issues. I know it usually grosses most people out. And pelvic floor physical therapy has really taken a boom, and pelvic surgery. There's in the medical world, it's something that we just talk about. It doesn't have the same kind of ick reaction that it does to most people. So I feel like if we could normalize it, then people could get the help they need, and if people could see online and understand more, they would be motivated to make an appointment with a doctor or the therapist or whatever they need their help for, you know, in these private issues.
Can you also share us where can they find you, links, social media?
Yeah, you can find me on social media. You can find me on my website, LT Gray. And yeah, I'd love to talk to anyone to see how I can help them and get the message out, because I feel like with healthcare, I feel like we have to be more human. I don't think, you know, automating things and a video is gonna replace a doctor, but I do feel like we can also use these tools to connect with people to make that human connection.
I love our life, you know, we're getting so updated out there. We're getting all this equipment so you can help doctors and other physicians.
Yeah, no, I feel like if we use it as a tool to take the strain off of things, and then we can focus on human connection, it's actually not taking away human connection.
Yeah, I've seen a lot that said oh, AI will take your job, and then my mom actually sent me a video where she's doing laundry and dishes. She was like, when?
No, I know. It's
when?
Take it away. Take it away.
Take it away.
Yeah.
Sweep the floor. Do my dishes.
Or
my
even
laundry.
with medicine, you know, a lot of doctors spend a lot of time documenting things. If and there's a lot of miscommunications. If we can use AI to communicate with each other better and record the communication, not we're trying to get each other type of way, but just to communicate, then that would solve a lot of problems too.
Yeah. So AI is not really that bad.
I don't think so. I think everyone has a panic attack. Every industry is having a panic attack about it a little bit, but
I mean, I wouldn't trust an AI to do my electric, you know, or do my plumbing. So just relax, guys.
Or, you know, you use it as a tool.
Yeah.
A tool. It organizes me. You know, sometimes I'll plop it. I'll say, what should I do today? This is what I have to make a schedule for me. And
at least they're a help there. They're not taking over. They're
no. And I'm oh, no, that's not right. You know, you can't also. No, I don't want to do that.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
You.
Thank you for coming here.
Thank you so much. This was fun.